It has been such a long time that I've not recorded a video, but my friends are really worried about me and my family as well. They have good reason behind it because obviously I have been getting a lot of health issues lately, and I promised that once the time was right, I would be doing this video right now and sharing with you what's going on with my health. And obviously, I got some comments asking you need to do a video about your health, and yes, you guys are all right. And this is the reason why I believe this is the ideal time that I need to start speaking up about everything. So, if you are not following everything what happened to me, so I used to have an abusive partner who is part of a mafia in Berlin and promised that they would kill me. So this is the starting point from this situation that I'm in right now. And moving from that, they destroy my property, my motorcycle, which is a scooter, and they sabotage a lot of things. And then also I noticed that my letters that I was receiving had some sort of allergic thing inside the letters, and I was getting some sort of allergic reactions. And then it went from me moving out from this abusive relationship into renting a room in an apartment with someone that was completely out of this world, completely obsessed with me. And then I managed to escape from that, and then there was another incident with a dentist, and which I'm still having to deal with the issues that the dentist caused, the damage that the dentist caused in my mouth. And I had to complain, I appeal, and contact my health insurance and all the bureaucracy that comes with it. And then I had some issues as well with my ex-employer who was not paying my tax. And then in the middle of the pandemic, the job center stopped to support my application, which was actually illegal. And there was this problem as well. And, then I found a safe place to live, basically, which was in a Buddhist temple. And that was a light in the end of the tunnel, and that was really peaceful. And even before I got to the temple as well, I was living really quietly, and I was always at home and always doing the things that I had to do, and exercise and yoga and meditation, and that was about it pretty much. And in the temple, all of that even became more powerful, and I was very grounded, very calm, very peaceful, and just minding my life and my business and not harming anyone in the process. And the people in the temple were really kind as well, really nice. They really helped me. That was a really nice environment. But then there was a sonic attack. Yes, you're not gonna believe it, but yes, I was being attacked with a sonic weapon. And just think about it, everything what I already had to go through, and then I found a peaceful place, and then they basically didn't have all the means to attack me, so they used some super special powerful weapon, right? Which very unlikely that a civilian would have such a powerful weapon, such a tacky, high-tech technology that that I managed to measure the waves with vibration, because everything in the room, in my room, within the temple, exactly everything was vibrating. The water was vibrating, so I measured this vibration, and it was every single day. And the end of that is I started to have health issues that I never had in my whole life before. And up to this point, I was living super healthy. I was doing everything what it takes, to have a healthy life and a healthy lifestyle. And unfortunately, I had to move out from the temple because I was in a kitchen, yes, and the lama's kitchen in the temple. That was just a temporary solution. because I was basically homeless because I had to move out from the previous place where I was living because my ex-landlord was really obsessed with me. And then, so because I had to move out from the temple, I had no place to go, and then I had no help from the job center, so I had to go into a shelter. So up to that point at the shelter, I was feeling some health issues, and I managed to control everything with yoga and meditation. So there was no need for any medication or anything else because I felt that something was happening with my health, but I was able to manage control. And bear in mind that I did go to the doctor and complained and told them everything about it. I went to the hospitals, said that I was suffering a cyber attack, a sonic attack, and I explained to them how I measured and everything. I actually did everything, report everything with the doctors, with my practice, my GP practice, with all the places where I thought they would be able to help with the issue, but there was not much help at all. And the opposite's true. They tried to confuse me and make my life even more difficult. I'm going one step at a time right now, and then of course after the shelter, of course when I was in the shelter, basically this is what I want you to say. I'm trying not to miss any steps because it's I don't have a script. It's everything, I'm trying to remember and speak right now in front of the camera because I don't want to script everything because you'd sound really robotic. But what I want to say is then I was homeless. Then I had to move into a shelter. So when I was in the shelter within a week of being there, I started to feel really weak and really sick. And bear in mind that I'm a person that I always have a lot of energy. So if I'm sick and lack of energy, feeling tired, it's something that's very strange. But I kept it to myself because at that point I could not go to the hospital because they're already saying that there was nothing, basically, that they were trying to pretend that everything was from my mind and maybe I was schizophrenic or something, right? And there was nothing that I could do apart from getting out of the shelter. And also at the shelter I found a lot of things. For instance, some people that were staying there warned me not to eat there because they are experimenting drugs on different groups. Yeah, so they divided people in the shelter into different groups. So I was told not to eat the food because I became friends with a lot of people and I started to get a lot of advice and they start to tell me stuff. So, and then I start to analyze what was going on there, and then I noticed that there was something going on. So they divided people into groups and everyone had a different color of a bracelet with different colors. So they could easily be giving people something, so trying to test, or even I don't know, maybe they did do something with me, but I don't know, so I don't have the evidence, but I'm saying what I've heard and of what I noticed as well. Yes, it's likely that they could potentially be doing something to people that stay in the shelter. But then I managed to get out of the shelter, and unlucky again, I mean, this is not the ideal situation where I'm staying right now because there were some issues as well. But what I'm trying to say is, you see, when you add all of those issues together, and basically nothing is just because of me, nothing because it's because I'm doing something wrong to anyone, and or to anything. I'm not harming any life, any animal, any human beings. I'm just literally to myself, living my life and doing the things that I want to do in my life without interfering with anyone else's life. But even though, going through all of those things, they managed to hurt me, and basically my health has deteriorated in the shelter. And then it's something that I need to say is when I was staying in a Buddhist temple where they helped me with accommodation, I was staying in a kitchen there. which was all readapted to host me basically. And I went to my GP, and then they really recommended me, so you have to take this vaccine. So basically they gave me a flu jab vaccine there in the GP practice. Also, I don't know if there is a correlation that this also affects my health. So, but what I want you to say is, after the shelter, I found a place which is not ideal, and I don't want you to stay here for a long time. But given the situation, I don't know what will happen in the future. Since I was in the shelter, within a week of staying in the shelter, my health had completely deteriorated. And day by day that I was staying there, I was weaker and weaker, and I was feeling sicker and sicker. And then when I exercised and afterwards, I was feeling almost like my whole body was not functioning. So I had to really stay in bed, and I could not do anything. And it was almost that something was attacking my body and my cells and my nervous system, basically. And I basically kept everything to the basic. I stopped doing the videos that I was doing because I was not able to do it. I was not able to function very well. But I knew there was something going on there in the shelter. So yeah, luckily I managed to move out. But what I wanted to say is that since then, which it was almost 3 months ago that I moved out of the shelter, my health has deteriorated, and I'm trying to get back on shape again, and I'm trying to be present and be able to do the things that I could do on my computer, for instance, and I'm not able to do them anymore. I've been through a lot of examinations for the last few days. However, the doctors have not been very helpful, so they cannot find anything, which is still very strange, even though there is already 3 diagnosed health conditions that I have from different examinations in different places. But even though I take all of those positive results with those health conditions that I have, and I bring it to my doctor, to my GP practice, the GP practice, they don't really give me any medicine. So I always have to go back home with empty hands, with no answers about what's happening, which is very, very strange. What I want to say is there are more examinations going on for the next few days to come. And I'm going to, from today, share with you step by step, because I didn't want to do that before, because I had to figure out what was happening. And even though I am in a very temporary accommodation right now, I'm not in a situation where I'm going to be able to film a lot of the environment where I'm staying. But I believe that I'll be able to share with you what's happening. And today I have a MRI test scheduled, from my head. So they will finally do an MRI test examination, which hopefully will show a little bit more about what's going on. Obviously, I already tried to do this MRI test since a very, very long time, because when I was being exposed with the sonic weapon attacks, then earlier on that they did the MRI test, the more evidence that they would collect. But I've tried all different ways, then they would not do the MRI test to scan my brain basically at that time. But obviously now I found a way to do it. So I had to fight really hard to get this MRI test examination today. And from now on, I will share with you, even today when I'm going to the practice, I'm going to start shooting and speaking up a little bit more in sharing everything, what's going on with my health, and everything what I think about what's happening. And obviously, as I said earlier, it's very difficult to point where the attacks are coming from, because over the years now, I've been here for 3 years. Obviously, I've got some haters, and I'm starting to suspect that I have a lot of haters, that a lot of people that hate me just because of my existence, right? Because of my skin color, because of my nationality. So even though there were personal things with ex relationship, but there is also other things that I accumulated just because of my existence. So it's very hard to pinpoint exactly what the problem is, where the attacks are coming from. I'm not trying to do that. I'm literally trying to look after my health and share with you what happened and what's happening. And that is my job right now, to make sure that I'm healthy, that I don't think so much where it's coming from, but how I will heal and how I'll get better and how I will be on track again and be myself. Because as you know, until there is no justice and there's no peace, I'm gonna keep fighting for my rights. And I will keep you informed, and I hope that you just learn a bit more about what's going on here with me. And next videos, I will share exactly what kind of examination that I'm doing, so you will be able to follow up a little bit more and understand exactly everything what's going on. And sorry that I did not post anything before. It's just because I didn't have the mind and the health to do it. But I'm feeling a little bit stronger now, and but definitely far away from where I'm supposed to be, let's put it that way. But I would take it easy and slowly. I would document everything on the video about what's happened to me. So thanks for following, asking me questions about my health. You guys that asked me these questions on YouTube, I really appreciate your support, and I really appreciate that you watch the video and you care that you're asking those questions. Because yeah, our healths are very important to us, so we have to make sure that no one and no system and no government is trying to play dirty like that and attacking innocent people just because they have something to say, and trying to silence them by using, for instance, like a sonic weapon attack. It's no sense. But I will document everything. I will speak more about everything. And thanks once again for being there for me. I really appreciate your support.